Ever had a C# program that just won't stop running? Or tried to remove an item from a list and suddenly got an exception? These are two classic beginner mistakes. Let's see why they happen, and how to fix them. Let's jump in. Mistake number 1, creating an infinite loop. Let's start with a simple while loop. Imagine we want to count from 0 to 5. We write. Looks reasonable. But there's a problem. Take a close look. Where does number change? It doesn't. The value stays 0 forever. And 0 is always smaller than 5. So the condition is always true. That means our loop never stops. We've just created an infinite loop. The correct version is. Now the value changes every time the loop runs. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when the value becomes 5, this condition, number less than 5, becomes false. The loop stops. Here's an easy rule to remember. Whenever you create a loop, ask yourself, what makes this loop stop? If you can't answer that question, you might have an infinite loop. Mistake number 2, changing the wrong variable. Here's another easy loop mistake. Imagine we have two variables. Can you see the problem? Our condition depends on I. But we're increasing count. So I stays 0 forever. And count keeps getting bigger. The condition, I less than count, will always be true. Again. Infinite loop. The fix is, now we're changing the variable that actually controls the condition. This is a very useful debugging trick. Look at your loop condition. Then find the variable inside the condition. And make sure something inside the loop actually changes it. Mistake number 3, removing items from a list while using foreach. Now let's look at one of the most common list mistakes. Imagine we have a list of numbers. We want to remove all even numbers. A beginner might write. It looks logical. Find an even number. Remove it. But this causes a problem. We're changing the list while foreach is still using it. C# doesn't allow that. You'll get an exception similar to collection was modified, enumeration operation may not execute. So how do we fix it? One simple approach is to use a normal for loop and work backwards. Why backwards? Because when we remove an item, the indexes of the items after it change. By starting at the end, we don't disturb the indexes we've already checked. After the loop, our list contains 1, 3, 5. Another modern and very clean solution is to use RemoveAll. That's much shorter. And clearly expresses what we're trying to do. Remove all numbers that are even. Quick challenge. Let's see if you can spot the problem. What's going to happen? The condition says, I must be smaller than 10. We start at 0, and then we decrease I. 0. -1. -2. -3. The number keeps getting smaller. So it will always remain smaller than 10. We've created another infinite loop. The correct version is, always pay attention to the direction your loop variable is moving. Quick recap. Let's remember today's 3 mistakes. Mistake number 1. Don't create a loop without something that eventually makes the condition false. Mistake number 2. Make sure you're changing the variable that controls your loop condition. Mistake number 3. Don't modify a list inside a foreach loop. If you need to remove items, use a backwards for loop or methods like RemoveAll. These are small mistakes. But knowing them can save you from some very frustrating debugging sessions. And that's it. Infinite loops? Check the condition. Removing from lists? Don't modify them inside foreach. The more bugs you understand, the faster you'll spot them. And that's the goal of this series, Code Smarter, Debug Faster. If you learned something today, subscribe to Sharpdev and join me for the next C# beginner mistake. Keep coding. Keep learning. And I'll see you in the next one.